Hey guys, this is Lizzie. So last video, you guys left me comments of questions you had about me, and so right now I'm going to answer them. Dino Eats Cookies wants to know how to deal with peer pressure. I actually have a Bible verse on my wall from 1 Corinthians 15:33, and it says, "Do not be misled, bad company corrupts good character." And also I was reading Proverbs 3 yesterday, and it talks all about peer pressure and hanging out with the right people. And I'm not saying you shouldn't hang out with people who sin, because everyone sins, but make sure that your closest friends share your morals and share your faith, and then you won't fall into peer pressure. Yara 815 was the 5th comment. Cherry Top Roses wants to know what movie resembles my life and why. I don't really know if a movie necessarily resembles my life, because no movies talk about being YouTubers. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? I was actually talking to my mom about this the other day, and she was like, clementines, because I eat those all the time, and they're like my favorite food in the world. The Piano Square wants to know what college I'm going to attend. I don't know yet, but so far I've heard back from 3 and I've gotten into all of them, so 3-0. Yara 815, have you ever been bullied in middle school? I was bullied in middle school. I made a whole video about being bullied in middle school, and what happened was these guys made fun of me for my weight. I wasn't fat, I was the same way I am now, but sometimes they call me fat, sometimes they call me anorexic, and I laughed at them, and then I threw insults back at them, and I just didn't care. Hilm Awkward wants to know if I've tried the cinnamon challenge. Someone sent me a video about the cinnamon challenge, and it was the strangest thing ever. Basically, you eat a tablespoon of cinnamon. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? I really want to visit France. It's my favorite European country, and I'm taking European history this year, so I've learned even more awesome stuff about it. Do I like Demi Lovato? I love Demi Lovato. She was on the cover of 17 magazine 2 years ago. It made me happy. She's really inspiring. I listen to her music all the time, and she's an epic actress. X Syria Pololala wants to know if I'm a virgin. Of course I'm a virgin. I'm a Christian, and God makes it super clear in the Bible that when you have sex with someone, you're like marrying them. If you read Genesis 3 or something, it talks about how like it's this like imagery thing, like you're one flesh, you're married, and so I'm not married, so I haven't had sex yet. Epic American Zombie wants to know my opinion on video games. I pretty much hate video games, especially the shooting violent ones. I just feel like that like corrupts us into thinking that war is okay. And my son, if I ever have a son, is not going to be playing any video games. Hannah Lee Ann 12 wants to know what my biggest regret in life is. So I guess one of the things I kind of wish I hadn't done was quit dance when I was 14, because I had this teacher who was like making me cry because she just hated me so much. But if I hadn't quit dance, then I wouldn't have been able to start track and I wouldn't be running now. So I don't know, like I'm sad I quit dance, but I'm also glad that I did. Kroby98 wants to know about my boyfriend. I do not have a boyfriend right now. And yes, I got straight A's last semester, but it was for the first time in high school, so I do get B's. I'm not like a perfect person. Jammer 427777. What makes your heart sing? I don't even know what that means. What are you? God makes me really, really happy. This week, I was actually listening to a song, a Christian song, and I started crying because it was just so, like, you know what I mean? Like when you feel God like inside of you, and it's just like this overwhelming feeling, and you don't even know what it is. It's like joy, and you just like cry because it's like so much. Like I don't know how to explain it, but that makes me really happy. Swim, skate, run. I like that username. What is your favorite part of being involved in the YouTube community? I love getting to interact with people who I otherwise wouldn't get to really know or meet or interact with, and I also love how YouTube is kind of a stage for epic talent. Like most of the music that I listen to comes from YouTube musicians, and so I just love how it lets people get exposure. And how has God touched my heart? I think what I was talking about before, just like whenever I'm like praying to him and like in his presence, and you know, like you feel him and you feel so happy that you cry. Like I just love that. Giraffes Eat Windmills wants to know if giraffes eat windmills. Well, if you took multiple trees and named them windmill, then yes. Cheer 56781 and all these other people want to know about my first kiss, and I haven't had it yet. It's crazy, but the reason that I haven't been in many relationships is because at my high school, we'll have a class of 35 people, and there'll be 3 guys in it. Like, there's literally, like, no guys. If I'm gonna be in a relationship with someone, he's got to love God more than he could ever love me, and those kind of guys are really rare. Like, I know they exist, they're just not at my high school. And I also don't go around making out with random people. Like, who does that? Just Sizzle 143, what do you look for in a guy? Well, I think I already said, I want him to be a Christian. God is my life, and I would only be with someone who understands that relationship and that passion. Also, do you believe things happen for a reason? Well, I don't really think that God is in heaven and he's like, I'm gonna put Lizzie through this so that this can happen. Like, if you just look at science, like every action has a reaction. I think that it seems like everything happens for a reason just because like one thing leads to something else. Sweet Cheeks Ellie, what's my most embarrassing moment? When I was 11, I really liked this guy at my church, and I was over at his house because we had small groups with his family, which is like the Sunday night thing that we had at our church. Like this like little like squishy ball, we were like standing on top of it trying to balance, and so I had a skirt on, and I balanced on top of it, and then I fell over, and my skirt comes up, and my underwear is exposed, and it was right in front of my crush. And then another time, it was our first day, freshman year, running at the track, because we don't have track in my school, so we have to go to another school, and so we were like jumping over this fence, and I was jumping down after getting on the top of it. My shorts were caught on it, and they ripped open in front of all these senior guys. Luckily, this girl was standing by, and I like grabbed her sweater and put it around me. All my stories have to do with my underwear being exposed to the world. Mrs. Fashion Diva 1, what is your favorite band, singer, songwriter? I love Barlow Girl. I love them since I was 11, but Sidewalk Prophets is also kind of my favorite band. Brenna Hart's B-Ball 5. How long were you anorexic? I wasn't eating for 2 weeks, and I mean I was eating, but I would eat like one snack every day. A month before that I was kind of like majorly dieting, so glad that phase of my life is over. She also wants to know how much I weigh, and I have no idea what I weigh, which is really good, but I think it's somewhere around like 120 or 125 or 115. I have no idea, I don't know. Canel Janda, Canel and Gal 14. Can we video chat? Yes, we can video chat. I have a Skype, and it's Lizzie Rizet is my name on my Skype, and so you should be able to search me up, and then I'll accept your ad or whatever, but I'm always really busy, so I don't know how much time I'll have to video chat with you guys. 11 Jess 112, do you like whales? I actually prefer manatees, but whales are cool. Low East something wants to know if I would rather have a lot of friends and be sad or have like no friends and be happy. Friends make me happy, so that is like a hypothetical, illogical. Also, I know you're a Christian, but like what type? Catholic, Mennonite? What is Mennonite? Who is Mennonite? Comment below if you're Mennonite and explain to me what you believe. I am a Church of Christ, and our whole mantra is we speak where the Bible speaks, and we are silent where the Bible is silent. And if you want to know more about that, you should look up our Wikipedia page. I've read the whole thing. It's epic. I agree with like what it says on there. And look for the article Churches of Christ, and you can read up on me. And I'm going to leave the link below in case you're too lazy to type in Churches of Christ into Wikipedia. Tessalene wants to know my favorite Bible verses. I change my favorite Bible verse every few years. Right now it is Ecclesiastes 3:11. God has made everything beautiful in its time. He has set eternity in the hearts of men, yet we cannot comprehend him. What is my favorite movie? Obviously Harry Potter 7 Part 2. For the last hour of that movie, I was crying. And not just crying, I was like sobbing. And I was like, oh, it's over. And when Harry kissed Ginny for the last time, and then he was like, I have to die. And then I was just thinking, it's Jesus. And it was just like, it was so amazing and terrible and beautiful. Nisha the Bee wants to know about my favorite books. Obviously I love Harry Potter and Twilight and Hunger Games and Uglies. But my favorite book of all times is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Cal Ducini. Also, how much does Final Cut cost? It is $300, but if you go to the Apple website, you can download a free trial on your Mac for 30 days. Yelp 11, do you play any instruments? I used to play the viola, but I quit in 7th grade because we didn't have an orchestra program at my middle school. Fail. Makeup by Lizzie 1. Aww! What do you do if your best friend is dating your crush? Well, obviously, if you knew you liked this guy before she went out with him, then you should have told her so that you didn't have a weird, awkward friendship. But since they're dating, don't interfere with that at all. And once they break up, it's kind of girl code that you shouldn't go out with him. So probably you should get over your crush. Fashion, blah, blah, blah. How old are you? I'm 17. What do you do if you haven't talked to your crush for a few months, but you just can't talk to that person? You're kind of putting like an impossible situation. Obviously, you need to talk to him if you want to talk to him, and you can talk to him. Nothing is impossible. Mr. Peanut Butter, do you know if there's a way to get out of the friend zone? Yes! I made a whole video on getting out of the friend zone, and it's super simple. It just takes like about a month. Sky6827. How do you come up with or get such great advice? I have no idea. It's like there's this glitch in my brain that knows how to give advice. Guinea Piggy Lover has my same bedspread. Username Katniss. Hunger Games reference. Were you always this committed to being a Christian? Yes. I remember when I was 9, I would pray every night. I had a prayer journal. And I would always be reading my Bible, and I'm 13 now, and I'm starting to become closer with God, but I find it hard to go to church because the church I go to only talks about abortion, and I really just want to learn how to become closer to Him, not get lectured every time I go to church. I completely understand where you're coming from, because my church is really conservative too, and they bring politics into it sometimes. But what I find is that just made me realize that church is like this little part of my Christian life, and that getting closer to God has nothing to do with other people. It has to do with you praying to Him and reading your Bible and just singing worship songs in your bedroom at night. I mean, I go on YouTube and I like mute the sound and I just sing worship songs. And so getting closer to God is all about you. It has nothing to do with your church. And I know that it can be like really disheartening, but just let this be the opportunity for you to make God your life and not depend on other people to bring you closer to God. Guinea Piggy Lover, have you ever done or tried out the advice you've given yourself? Yeah, pretty much any advice I'm giving is something I've either done or something I would follow, so definitely. And what have you learned from people you answered the questions to over the years? I guess I've learned that a lot of people are kind of, no offense, kind of dumb when it comes to relationships and reading body language and just stuff like that. So I guess it's nice that I'm able to educate you guys on that, but I've also learned that everyone's the same. We all go through the same insecurities and phases in life, and we've all been rejected, we've all had heartbreaks, so we're all the same, and I think that just shows me that we need to kind of accept everyone because we're all Crudo, the Wolf, Pineapple, Piano, something, Purple. Your first love? Obviously my first love is God, and I think He's the best love ever. There's actually this really cool quote, and it says, dance with God because He'll only let the right guy cut in. What did you do to get over a really big crush? I followed my own advice in my Get Over a Crush video. Like I talked about in the video, you're never going to truly get over the person until you find someone else. But also if you focus on other people, it takes the focus off yourself and you can get over it. And that works for like a breakup, for a death in the family, for anything. Focusing on other people helps you heal. Jelly Bear 380. Have you ever been in a situation where you liked your friend, then they find out, and your friend thinks it's so awkward? No. It's Chilobo. What are your plans to serve God later in life? Like, how about you? I think everything from healing people and showing people God through my YouTube channel to kind of just how I treat people, strangers who I interact with in life, I think all of that can be about God. And the reason I want to be an attorney when I grow up is because it angers me how innocent people get taken advantage of, how corruption's going on, and I really want to fight against that in my future. And another thing relating to God is just giving a lot of my money to organizations to help the poor people. It's disgusting. It's like this huge evil that every 6 seconds a child is dying of hunger. 18 million every year are dying of hunger, and we're wasting money on stuff we don't need to survive. And so I think that if I become rich one day, a majority of the richness is going to go away to third world countries. And so I think that the way I spend my money is another way that I can serve God later in life. Grace Bella 1000, have you ever been bullied for a long period of time? And how did you deal with it? Like I said, I was bullied in middle school and I didn't care. Like if someone comes up and says, you're ugly, like, I don't care. Move on with your life. I mean, it's not like their opinion at all matters. You're bullied for a whole year. I think that you've got to eventually stand up to the person if you're taking it seriously, and you need to tell them to stop. You need to tell someone about it. And if you see other people being bullied, you need to intervene. There is a lyric from a Barlow Girl song, and it says, silence is worse than evil done. What in the world have we become? Can't you see that this is war, so pick your side? If you are getting bullied though, the worst thing to do is show them that it's getting to you, and so you need to kill them with kindness by smiling at them when they make fun of you and just not letting it bother you, because their opinion, it doesn't matter. Like, the God of the universe, the God who created the world, he loves you. He wants a personal relationship with you. It says in 1 Samuel 16:7, people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And so if they're making fun of you for how you look, it doesn't matter, because God sees your heart, and that should be the only thing that matters to you. These gravy and candles, what colors have you thought of applying or have applied to? I've applied to UF, FSU, Pepperdine, BU, Harding, Smith, and PBA. Sarah was here, wants to know why I named Christmas Christmas. Well, Christmas was adopted from my viola tutor when I was in 7th grade, and he came to her door on Christmas Day, and it was snowing, and he was hungry and cold, and she let him into her house because she had so many other pets, and we were playing with him one day because my sister got her violin lesson, and then I got my viola lesson, so me and my mom were playing with him, and he was so cute, and then we adopted him. Starfish XX Full, what is your favorite outfit to wear for the weekend? Well, right now, I am wearing a tank top under a t-shirt, and I am wearing some shorts. So, I guess it depends on what I'm doing for the weekend. I went out shopping today to buy cupcake materials for Valentine's Day. So I got dressed and did my hair and makeup. Theater gown, $9,999. Oh, if there'd only been 3 nines, that would be hilarious. Herman Cain, do you have a boyfriend? No. I'm just wondering, want to know about your love life. Sorry if that's creepy. It's not creepy because I pretty much share about everything on this channel. JBose1, do you like sports? Yes, I love playing sports. I hate watching them. I love playing volleyball. And I also like playing football, not like playing football, just like throwing the football. I don't like when people get knocked over. I feel like that's like the Coliseum. Sports Lover 5, who's your crush? I actually don't have a crush right now. Dear Jack, what is your favorite thing about school and why? I love my school so much. It's an art school, and so we have different art areas. We have like communications, which is mine, visual, dance, theater, music. In my art area, I get to do debate and creative writing, which is like writing is breathing to me, and TV production, where I get to edit on Final Cut and film. And even if you don't like some aspects of your school, admit it, you would have basically no friends if you didn't go to your school. Softly Sung covers, what do you see yourself doing as an adult? I see myself going to college in the fall. I see myself voting. I see myself getting married and having kids. And I see myself being a Christian and going on a missions trip and being an attorney. Random the name. How many animals do you have? I have a cat named Christmas, and we used to have fish in Indiana, but we moved here, and now we have a pool instead of a pond, so. Yoko3034, where do you get all the information for your videos? Do you experience it, or do you just make it up? Like what I was saying before, a lot of it is just intuitive, and I don't think I'm making it up. I just think I'm smart when it comes to people. I think it's because I'm a writer, because I have to understand people to make believable characters, and I think it's something relating to that makes me good at giving advice, but a lot of it is stuff I've gone through or experienced, and sometimes I research for videos on random websites. What do you say when your boyfriend's best friend asks you if you love... I think she's saying, like, let's say if I was dating Bob, and then Belinda is Bob's best friend, so Belinda comes up and is like, do you love Bob? What should you say? I think you should tell them that that's between you and your boyfriend. I feel like that's something that his best friend shouldn't be discussing with you, so don't answer them. Just be like, that's for me and my boyfriend to discuss. Like, get out of our relationship. Ultimate you fan ever. How do you hint to a boy that you like them? Okay, so what you can do is you can watch my 13 signs a girl likes you video, and at the beginning I prefaced it with, I think it's kind of weird that girls are asking me how to show a guy you like them because it should be intuitive. So you can show the signs to him. You could also just make it easier on him and just tell him that you like him. But girls tend to not like being straight up honest. The Future Vet 101 has 15 million questions. Look at this. Will you keep making videos when you go to college? Definitely! Why would I ditch you guys? What state do you live in? I'm telling you guys that when I'm about to leave the state, and then maybe we can do a meetup if some of you guys live here. Do you go to a Christian school? No, I've been in public school my whole life, but I might go to a Christian college. What type of sports do you play, if any? I do cross country and track, and I play volleyball at camp every summer. I'm in the years of 100. What is your favorite song? Well, The Lost Get Found by Britt Nicole has been played over 400 times in my iTunes. Right now, A Girl's Life by Megan and Liz is my ringtone. I really like The Words I Would Say by Sidewalk Prophets. That's probably one of my favorite songs too. Cassie Love 9, what's the worst thing that has happened to you? I guess having a bunch of my relatives die of cancer, like my aunt, my uncle, my grandma, my other grandma had cancer and survived. Yeah, people dying of cancer, because it sucks because you're praying for them every day and then they die and then you cry and it's like, why is this happening to me? Fishfinder 401, what political party do you affiliate? I am liberal, and if you had asked me this a year ago, I would have said I'm socialist. But after reading 1984, I was like, So now I love socialism, but I'm not strict socialist. I'm super liberal, and go Obama! I get to vote for him in November of this year, and I'm registered to vote, and it's so exciting. Nothing ever gamma girl 14. Do you want to marry a certain person when you grow up? There are guys who I meet at like my church or at a church camp, and I just love them, and I love how they love God, and I can see myself with them. But it's not like I actually want to marry them. Sunshine 554. How tall are you? I'm 5'7". And how much do you weigh? I have no idea. Mags and Ty. What is your favorite music, and what artist do you like? I love CCM music, which is contemporary Christian music. And I really like Barlow Girl, Sidewalk Prophets, Britt Nicole, Josh Wilson, Natalie Gant, Sidewalk Prophets, Addison Road, Skillet. And then non-Christian music, I really love Taylor Swift and Megan and Liz and Tiffany Albert and Dave Days and Taylor Elizabeth 8 and Megan Nicole. La Live. If you could kiss anyone you want, who would you kiss? Darren Chris. Getting cheated on Barbie. Do you have a best friend? Yes, her name is Kelly, and she goes to my church, and so I hang out with her at all our youth group events, and I love her so much.